welcome back. You're still watching us here on The Breakfast Show. It's time to take a look at our first segment, and as I've mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking about some nutrition facts and how you can stay healthy and in shape, especially as we are approaching the summer season. We're going to be very delighted to have joining us here in the studio Dr. Asam. She's a physical therapist and a nutritionist. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Hiba. Dr. Hiba, as we are approaching the Easter holidays, the Sham Nassim vacation, what's your tips for the Egyptians in order to have a good diet and without having excess food from the salty fish and other stuff?
First, I like to tell all the audience that we have to take the balanced diet, the balanced food. Everyone, from children to adults to old age, all we have to take daily requirement of each food or each component of. We have to take adequate amount of proteins, adequate amount of carbohydrates, adequate amount of fats. Even if we are obese or over, take amount of fat because it's very important to our nerves and to our health. Some people don't take fats at all.
Stop everything while they are on a diet.
Yeah, it's important. Also, adequate amount of water, because about 70% of our body is water. So we have to eat the balanced diet every day.
Sorry for interrupting you here, but what's it's tips for all our viewers, of course. What's the appropriate amount of everything? Water. How many? What's the quantity of water?
About at least take? 1 liter per day or 2 liters. It's very good. About 8 cups per day. We have to drink water around the day, not in some time or any at morning, or no. We have to distribute the water all over the day, especially in the summer. In the summer, we lose excess amounts of perspiration and sweating. So we have to balance this excess losing of water by drinking more. Also, we see the food pyramid in the picture after a while. It will give us the portions we have to eat. I talked before about this food pyramid, and I like to talk every time about the food pyramid and the healthy food plate. The food plate must be healthy and must contain every types of foods: proteins, carbohydrates, even a small amount of fats, whole grains. All is very important. We don't have to cancel or to forget to take any type of food. Okay.
I was just talking to you off air because we are approaching the summer season and many people want to make sure that they stay in shape.
Yes.
So as you said, they would go automatically to a very strict diet to lose quick pounds in a very short time. If you want to maintain having a balanced diet and exercise, I mean, does exercise substitute for what you eat? I mean, can you exercise and eat regularly and lose weight, or do strict diet and excessive exercise go parallel in order for you to lose weight?
They must go parallel. And for extremely obese patients, I don't recommend exercise at first. I like them to be to have adequate diet to lose weight to some extent. Then after they lose some extent of their weight, they can go to gym and make exercise. If they are very obese and making exercise, it will harm their joints.
Yes.
Yes, it's a very red flag to us. We have to go to exercise or go to gym when we are in a moderate weight, not in excessive weight. For overweight patients, I recommend at first to be in a balanced diet and to restrict the amount of calories per day, and make exercise very mild exercise, not strenuous exercise.
It's because the reason, I'm sorry to interrupt you, because the reason why I asked you that is because we see the foreigners or the Westerns in general, I mean, they eat a lot.
Yes.
Yet they don't gain weight and they're very thin. I mean, how is that? I mean, I do understand that exercising is very essential in their lives. So that's why I asked, is exercising helping to lose weight, or is just a muscle tone up and a body tone up?
It helps. But by the way, they don't eat much. The foreigners or the Western or in the Europe, I know they eat a very small amount. They have the culture they have the good food culture, how to eat, how to be fit, and how to not to excess eating or to be excess weight. They have the good culture about that. Also, exercise, they have the culture of exercise. Here in Egypt, we lack the culture of exercise. Very small or very rarely in families that involve their children in exercise. Like sports from their childhood or like this. It's very important. If the child from the childhood make exercise or making involvement in sports, it will help. Yes, it will help a lot to and maintain this exercise. Okay, but in the moment now in Egypt, adults need to lose weight. So we have to solve this problem by moderate exercise. I see a lot of people go to gym making strenuous exercise and they think that they make it will lose weight. No, mild exercise, even walking. And walking is a very simple and very important. It makes all the muscles of the body work in a simple way, not strenuously, not bad way, not harming their joints or harming their health.
Dr. Hiba, as I've mentioned that next Monday is Sham el-Nessim, and many people they go and eat a lot of salty food, salty fish, eggs. So what's your tips so that people can eat in an appropriate way without having problems of digestion and other problems due to overeating these stuff?
Fish is very good to our health. Especially it's a very good source of protein, lean protein. It helps the body to take its needing of from protein and amino acids without fats. Fish they don't fatty or don't get us to be overweight or obese. Yes. Also, it's very rich in omega-3. Omega-3 is very important to our health because it improves all the body functions. Also, it reduces the bad cholesterol in the body. So fish is very good source of lean protein, okay, and a very good source for omega-3.
Yes.
Okay, but not with excess. Everything, if we eat in excess, it will be harmful to us.
But even salty fish are good.
No, salty fish.
So the normal
fish, the salty
fish
which they eat in Sham el-Nessim or
like hareng or
yes.
the fsil.
We have two types here. They take salty fish and smoked fish.
Yeah.
Smoked fish like الرنجة. Salty fish we call it فسيخ.
Yes.
It's a very harmful, yes. And I don't recommend it at all.
Well, why is it harmful? Sorry for,
okay.
but we have to tell people why they should stop eating this.
It contains toxins. When we sold the fish in a bad conditions, or we don't know how this this man or who making this salty fish, how the process will be not clean, it's a contaminated environment. Also, any salting for the fish or the process itself, even if in a good condition, it's harmful. Why? Because toxins, the salted fish make toxin like botulinum toxin. Botulinum toxin is very harmful to the body, mainly to this. What it makes to the body, it make vasodilation of the vessels, making hypotension and very severe headache, and maybe making respiratory failure. It affects the respiration and maybe the patient go to...
So people has to be very cautious by eating.
But I don't recommend to eat salty fish. I don't recommend.
But the smoked fish is
smoked fish has a benefit and only dangerous. But we have to take the smoked fish in a moderate amount, not excess. It's very helpful to our health and very effective in improving our health. It's very rich in omega-3. It's like I said about fish, it in lean protein and don't have any fats, but the smoking itself also is dangerous to us because it releases something called nitrates, and nitrates it's precancerous, may cause cancer stomach if we took in excess amount. So even smoked fish, it have benefit, but also don't take excess salt smoked fish. Taking in very mild or moderate amount, not excess. Also, I recommend when we eat the smoked fish, we have to eat a big portion of salads. Very important. Yes, because it's very helpful to our health. The salad, rich in mineral and vitamins, and making absorption of the benefits from the fish more. Also lemon. If we put lemon on the salted or not salted, smoked fish, it will improve the benefits and making it be more to our body. Also, the best way to eat fish in generally is grilled fish. It's the best way to eat fish or any meat. We have to go to grilled instead of fried or salted or smoked, because smoking fish or smoked meat will be have some dangers to our health.
Mm-hmm. Now let's talk about ways of detoxificating our body and reducing the water retention.
Yes.
A lot of people they seem to be overweight or they don't feel comfortable about themselves because they have water retention. Now while you say one should take at least 2 liters of water per day, how can that help in reducing the water retention, and what can we eat or do to detoxify our body?
Okay. I like to talk about the salt in general. Salt and water. Salt and water are very, very related to each other in the body. As I said, the water is about 70% of the body. What make the cells of the body retain water in it? Normal retention, not over retention. The problem is the over retention. Normal retention is required. We need to retain water in our body. What's making us retain water is the salt. Salt also has benefits. I don't recommend to restrict salt at all, but in moderate amount. The daily requirement of salt must be calculated every day. We don't have to eat excess salt. Because also, for example, if you are taking a very large amount of salty foods in general, you will feel thirst. What is the relation between being thirsty and eating excess amount of salt? As I said, they are related to each other. The water and the salt in the body related to each other and like parallel to each other. When we eating excess salt, it making the over retention. Retention normally is required, but over retention is the problem here. Okay. Also, salt has benefit for the muscle contraction. The muscle, to be able to contract, it have to be muscle nerve impulses for from the brain to making the muscle contract to the nerve conduction. The nerve conduction in our body needs salt. Okay. Also, salt is very important to the cardiac system and to the kidney. But excess amount of salt will make a cardiac problem and kidney failure and kidney stones. So we have to eat everything in moderate, not to eat excess amount of salt. To avoid the water retention, we have to avoid the excess amount of salt and to make the body all the time get its requirement from everything, like nutrients, minerals, and the vitamins, making the body balanced, to be in balanced state, not to be in a healthy state and in a bad condition. So when we have to general health for the body and general good nutrition for the body, it will help us to lose the weight and to lose the water retention which may occur.
Dr. Heba, we want to know how to keep a healthy body. Do you believe that we should be eating very few meals per day, or we should have 4 to 5 meals per day with a small amount of food per meal? How do you see this? Because many Egyptians, due to their work conditions, they just have a very heavy meal per night and they just go to sleep, which is of course very unhealthy. So how can we adjust this system of life?
Okay, we have to eat 3 principal meals, 3 main meals per day, and maybe eating 2 snacks. Snacks, very, very light meal and very small meal. I like to take these snacks like vegetable or fruit, like eating carrots or eating apple. It's very useful because I see a lot of people taking the snacks up in the form of sweets, sweets and potatoes,
candies, chocolates,
yes, which is very harmful. Try to change the lifestyle. Lifestyle modification is very important because we lack the lifestyle modification here, or the healthy lifestyle here in Egypt. The mothers and the children and even all the classes of of people like this lifestyle or healthy lifestyle. So we have to change the culture. Even for the children, don't reward the child with chocolate.
chocolates and candies.
Reward the child with apple. Reward the child with kiwi.
But they don't feel happy when you give a child an apple. He's not happy. He wants chocolate. He wants to have candies.
If you make the child used to eat these fruits and healthy eating, he will love it. Okay, but we here encourage our children to make bad habits, thinking that it's very it's making them happy. But we can make the children happy by any other thing. Reward the child by going to a place he like, making a vacation or going to a good place, not by eating, not rewarding the child with food. It's very harmful.
Then that brings to my mind the question of when you said that people they don't have the culture of healthy eating in all societal class here in Egypt. And how do you explain a country like Egypt, where according to records more than 50% are below poverty line, and yet Egypt ranks number 2 or 3 from the world's most obese people? I mean, how can you be poor yet obese?
Poor people tend to eat carbohydrates because it's very cheap. They eat a lot of bread and a lot of pasta and rice. They get adequate amount of proteins, so they don't have the balanced diet. They tend to get in much carbohydrates and more sugars because they don't have the money to buy the healthy food. And they don't have the culture, they don't have the healthy lifestyle and the awareness, they lack the awareness. So they eat what they found, they eat what is very cheap to them. I found a lot of people which are cheap, they tend to eat rice alone because they are very in bad conditions. But when we give them the adequate knowledge and the adequate knowing to be healthy, it will help them a lot.
Dr. Hiba, can you please tell us, we have been reading a lot about the benefits of dark chocolate, for example, and how it's important for our body and how it boosts and improves the mood of the person, and it's beneficial also for his body. And on the other side, we are hearing that the chocolates are not very healthy for the body. How do you explain this? And we want your tips for our viewers.
Dark chocolate is healthy, it's good. But in the markets, we lack the dark chocolate. Children don't eat dark chocolate. They eat
But what's the difference regarding the benefits between the milk chocolate and the dark chocolate?
Dark chocolate is like the raw material. Yeah, it's the raw material of the chocolate. Other chocolate which we see in the market, it's processed chocolate. They add sugars and flavors and many things that may make it harmful, and not like the dark. The dark is raw and it's not tasty. But it's not tasty. Bitter and not tasty. I see a lot of children don't like the dark chocolate. It tastes not good. Yeah. So they tend to eat the normal chocolate in the market, which is harmful. Okay. Also the preservative in the chocolate the child eat, or any food preservative, it's very harmful. The preservative of food contain a very large amount of salts. It's called sodium benzoate sodium. So it's very harmful. I see a lot of patients going to hypertension and even stroke and even cardiac failure due to food preservative and excess amount of salts. Yeah, because it's like I said, it disturbs the balance of the salt in the body, and may make the cardiac muscle be fatigued, because excess salt in the food, like in the preservative, make the blood volume and the blood pressure increase. When the blood volume and the blood pressure increase, it make the heart muscle fatigued. It make the heart muscle maybe lead to failure or the problem. It affects the valves of the heart. Excess salt affects the valves of the heart, may lead to stroke and to hemiplegia. I see a patient going to hemiplegia or hemiparesis due to bad nutrition, and they don't keep the blood pressure due to foods and due to salt and due to food preservative. Food preservative are very harmful to our health. Yes. Any food preservative, any canned food. Because we see only in the restaurants or in the fast food they put a lot amount of salt. Why? It make you feel thirst. When we are thirsty, you don't know whether you are hungry or you are needing food. So being thirsty will make you eat more food. So this restaurant or this fast food places is very, very dangerous to our health in everything.
Indeed.
Very well, Dr. Hiba Assam, physical therapist and a nutritionist. Thank you very much for joining us on the breakfast show for your intake.
Dr. Hiba. And now we go to this report about the world champions from the handicapped. Let's watch with Linda Abdulatif.